Yo. What is up? How, how is everybody doing? I am doing good at the moment. All right. Let's let's see here. Okay. What is up, everyone? I am your boy Nerdtaku, and I'm ready for this amazing chapter. Um, write down. Hold on. Write down. Oh God, here. In this corner is my logo, but underneath it is the chapter, and I'm reading it on Viz because it is official now. Um, I am so excited for this. Um, so I wanted to let you guys know that I also have started posting my cards on TCG Player. Um, so I started selling my excess cards. So if you go to TCG Player, look up Nerdtaku, you can see my shop and all the cards that I'm selling. Um, and I'm selling a bunch of good, bunch of SECs, SRs. I've gotten a million orders. I got so many. Um, so it's it's been a lot to keep up with, to be honest. Luckily my wife is super great at it and she's been helping me out. Um, so yeah, it's just been super cool to sell these cards that I rip on TikTok and stuff like that. And people, whenever they see my extras, they know that it's going to be posted on TCG Player. So super cool. But anyway, we're here for the chapter and I'm ready. All right, here we go. So we got this sweet color spread um, by Oda. And wow, there's a lot going on here. Whoa, there's a ton. Okay, so we got Usopp on a claw machine. We got we got Brooke, who is the claw in the claw machine. Chopper stuck in the claw machine. And then we have Frankie scrounging up money. Robin hoping Usopp can win Chopper out of it. And then Jinbei is asleep. Zoro is lounging on a Shirahoshi plushie. Um, and there's just so much going on. Luffy has Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Donda, uh, Dadan, Garp, Makino, Ace, Shanks, Sabo. He's got Gaimon in his mouth. He's got Momo in his pocket. It looks like he dropped Boa and Carrot, which is crazy. Um, Zoro is sitting on Shirahoshi, and there's a Mihawk right next to him. Sanji has, oh my goodness. Sanji has Lilith. There's like Mare Whooping Cough, I guess that Luffy probably dropped. He's got Violet, Kami, Pudding, Perona, Conus, and Hiyori. It looks like, right? Hiyori should be on Zoro's. There's a Buggy plushie falling. Oh, Luffy also has Yamato falling. I think, yeah. And Kinemon, and he's grabbing Chopper's plushie, while Nami has Belmir, the pinwheel guy, I forget what his name is, um, Nojiko, and Vivi, as well as the Weatherian guy. Um, and they're fighting over Chopper. That's funny. Oh, there's also Dory, and then one of the big Gerd and Broggies over here that Jinbei is sleeping on. Man, there's a lot going on in here. And it looks like inside it, you can see Kureha, you can see Look, you can see Tom, you see Zeph, Clover, Man, this is so cool. And it almost looks like Foxy in the very back. That's so cool. This is a crazy detailed cover spread. Dope. It says based on a request, Luffy and Usopp catching a chopper plushie at a crane game. All right. Okay. Let's see where this chapter begins. And it says chapter 1161, a song of love bound under a hail of arrows. So we see Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 43, Where the Heroes Sleep. It says Kozuki Toki, Kozuki Odin, Uzuki Tempura, Fugetsu Amasubi, Shimotsuki Ushimaru, Otaka, Shimotsuki Yasui, Ashura Doji. Someone's name is covered here. It says Ta something. Then it says Kurazumi, and there's something underneath it. And then it says Pedro, Izo, Mar, and then it says Tai something. And then sh- Yamato's in front of one. So interesting. Hmm. Hmm. Some interesting stuff here. I wonder what those names are that we can't see. Okay, so we go right into a double spread. So let's check it out. Okay, many figures converged on the island bearing their individual goals and desires. Mm. It says, turning God Valley into an inescapable battlefield of nightmares. Mm. And so it says, please, my lord, leave the island through the evacuation tunnel. It says, not yet. I wanted that prize. And the Marine says, we'll be responsible for bringing it with us. And Celestial Dragon's like, responsible? You'll be held responsible for depriving us of a good time, you bungling fools. What a dick. And then we see people who are being hunted. It says, maybe this is our big chance. It says, let's use this chaos to find us a boat. Hmm. So we see Roger saying, where's Shaki? She better be unharmed. And then oh, we see Rox, and he says, Eris, teach, where are you? And then Garp's like, where are you, Roger? And then we see Dragon taking off with the kids. It says, just hang in there a little longer. Which way are the Navy ships? And then it's like, sees exclamation points. And he's like, pirates, this is the wrong way. And then we see a God's Knights. And it says, found him. It's a sailor carrying a baby. And all of a sudden, she shoots a blast out of her mouth and blasts him right in the shoulder. That's crazy. Okay. And then we see this person says, there, got him. And it says, you've saved my life, Maffy. Garling was going to kill me, I'm sure. And it says, oof. And then all of a sudden it says, Holy Knight of God, Holy Knights of God, Satchel's family, Saint Maffy. and it says, "Wah." And she's like smoking a cigar and says, "Garling has a kid? Who'd have thunk it? Can't imagine who'd want to kidnap the brat." And and then Dragon's like reaching out and says, "No, wait, don't take those babies. They're the only way I can atone for being part of this sick, murderous game." And then all of a sudden, she's like, "So long, young man." And Dragon's like, "Well, considering all the people who have died, I guess I deserve this too." Oh my God. And then all of a sudden, shwink, and it just cut her damn in half. And she's like, "Ugh." And then Whitebeard's like, "No, I wasn't aiming for you. That was an enemy I cut down." And it says, "How many pirate crews are on this island by now?" And, and Big Mom says, "Liar, I almost died there. Do we need to settle our score? Now's the time." And it says, "Whoa, whoa, who are those enormous pirates?" Bro, this is crazy. The fact that she just got minked in half is just bananas. Oh my God, another double spread, dude. My God, Oda is just cooking out of control. You see a bunch of people just getting run over and it says, "Hey, Newgate, were you trying to kill me, you rat?" And Whitebeard's like, "Shiki." And Kaido's like, "Hey, Linlin, you lied to me." It's like, Kaido. It says, "It's the Rocks Pirates. Take them down and we'll be famous." Then we see Shiki saying, "Hold on, do they think they deserve to win Shaki too?" And he just like blows them all away. Oh my God. This is crazy work. Like these oh my God, this is so crazy. The Rocks Pirates just go so hard and they're just destroying everyone. Like these are like four emperor level like people here. It's so nuts. And it looks like Whitebeard saying, "Go back home and get in bed, you miserable weaklings." And they're just destroying pirates. And the one that Mayfie was holding is like, "What's happening to this island anyway?" And then the baby's like, "Wah," and it says, "Now I've got an opening to escape, but she's got the babies." And then he's like, "Cough." And then he looks down and he's like, "Huh?" And one of the babies has a bump on his head and is knocked out. Then you see Garp and it says, "I sense a big catch up ahead." It says, "Found myself a first class fishing spot." And then all of a sudden, Garp just jumps up and just literally uses Conqueror's hockey in his attack. Oh my God, dude. It says, "Now come quietly, you Neptunians." Oh, because he's saying about a fishing spot. That's crazy. I was like, yo, is this racist? And it says, "It's Garp, run or we'll be stuck here forever." It says, "Aren't we going to fight him?" It says, "No, forget it. Zeus, Prometheus." "Yes, mama." Yeah, this is so funny. They're all just like, "Hightail it, the fuzz is here." And Dragon's like, "Dad?" And then all of a sudden, Big Mom's like, "Heavenly Fire Blitz." And it says, "It's Vice Admiral Garp." And like, just she just blasts. And there's a huge explosion. And Ivanka's like, "What? Who did that? What was it?" Anyway, this is our chance, Kuma. Bro, absolute insanity. Like the fact that all all well, I don't even see Shiki, but it looks like all four of them are just running, just like, yo, let's get the hell out of here. So crazy, dude. And oh man, this is just crazy. He's like covered in like charred and says, "You call that fire, Lin Lin? You couldn't cook prime rib with this." Yo, he's on demon time. And then you see Maffey say, "Well, the kidnapper's got to be dead now. Baby's safe and sound too. Is that good?" It says, "Baby's safe and sound. Perfect. Come back before Garling finds out." And then Dragon has one and it says, "I'm so sorry, I might not be able to rescue your brother, but at least I've got you." Mm, insane. Just insane. So this is how they get split, is what I'm seeing here. And then whoever this is from the Manmare family, it says, "You thought you could take advantage of the confusion to escape? No one gets out alive, resident or pirate." And she just starts blasting. And then all of a sudden it says, "Reporting in, sir." It says, "The Rocks pirates are coming from the southeast of the valley." Hmm. It says, "The Roger pirates are inbound from the northwest." It's like we're about to be stuck between the two. And it says, "We're taking Shacky back." And it says, "That's Roger. Defend this spot with your life. The treasure hasn't been hauled out yet. The Rocks pirates are coming from the other direction." And then we see, oh man, we see Gloriosa. We see um Gonzoi. We see Silver Axe. He's like, "I'll save her first." And then Shiki says, "No, no, me, get off." And then it says, "We're here to rescue you, Shaki." Yo, does Captain John have a metal arm? What is happening right now? Does he have kids' fruit? No way. Yo, that's sick. That's so crazy because that would make sense. He wants treasure and he's able to get it through his magnetism. That's so fucking cool. Mm, I love that for Captain John, to be honest. That's such a cool thing. He probably uses it better than Kid, too. It says, "Put a stop to them. You made sure to escort Shakuyaku out, right?" And it says, "St. Somers, well, what?" And it says, "Ah, St. Somers." It says, "You're kidding me. You can't handle one woman in handcuffs?" And she goes, "It sounds like there are lots of pirates causing trouble out there." And Somers says, "Ugh, I hate a woman who knows her own worth." It says, "You're better when you're naive." Yo, I pray. I pray Rayleigh comes in here and just cuts him in half. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Fucking destroy this man. Please. And she like wobbles down and kicks him right in the shoulder. And like then he grabs her leg and says, "Yow." And he gets his spike thing and literally, oh no. And he just hits her. Looks like twice. And she's like, "Ah." It says, "That's right. All those pirates are here to steal you back." Oh, it looks like his arm is fixing. It says, "You're in high demand, so high that it's ruined our big day." He says, but alive, you're only going to wind up with Garling. So the more emotional choice is to me is to kill you to make sure no one can have you. Yo, this guy's fucking cooked. Man, I hope Rayleigh comes in. Please God, let Rayleigh just swing on him. It says they've come from far and wide to rescue you. But when they finally get here, battered and bruised, they'll find their beloved brutally slaughtered. Their beloved brutally slaughtered. I wonder how they'll react to that. And it's just Roger clashing with Whitebeard. And it says, Shacky, I'm here for you. And there's a big blast of conquerors from Roger and Whitebeard clashing. It says, are you okay, Shacky? I'm coming to save you. Well, you better hurry, because she's currently getting packed up. Come on. Yes. Yes, I see. It says, look, it's me. Here I am. Damn it, I can't get through. You gotta get Shacky. And all of a sudden, he's just jumping. And it says, can you hear that? They're right behind us, but they'll be just a second too late. And it says, St. Summers, I don't think St. Garland would approve of. It says, shut up. Man, if you don't say anything, it goes in the books as an accident. And then he's like looking over her and it says, just look at her face. The light of hope has finally gone out. And it says, this ain't no fairy tale. If anyone comes to save her, I'll kill them. Reality is cruel. Gee ha ha ha. It says, I'll kill you in 5 blows, and with each bloody smash, you'd better regret the peace-addled optimism that has led you here. And then all of a sudden you just hear shing, and he's like, huh? And Rayleigh says, I'll put the flowers on your grave to send you off. Yo, fuck yeah, dude. Come on. And we hear Spider Lily Steel. And he just blasts him through the wall. And Rayleigh says, Shacky. He like sheathes his sword quick. And he's like, huff, huff. Sorry I took so long. I've come to get you. And she starts crying. And she says, oh, Ray, you took too long. And he says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through this. She says, I was so scared. And he goes, never again. And then you see Gobon and Roger saying, can you do this later, David? We've got Shacky back, boys. Now take some treasure and let's get the hell out of here. Yo, I love this. This is what an awesome chapter. That's it. And it says to be continued. Wow. It's good. It's a good chap. I'm not gonna lie, the whole time I'm like, come on, really? Prove why you're that guy. Prove why you're that guy. One shot of God's night from what we see. Who knows? I mean, he could get back up in 5 seconds. I don't know. Man, okay. Wow. All right. So let's talk about it. So we have One Piece 1161 in the books. And so the cover page is interesting. It's got Korizumi as one of the heroes, um, which is weird. Mm. I also am interested in this Mar, Tai, and something else. I know all the other names except for the Korizumi person and then who these people are at the bottom. So maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I got to see if someone else remembers, but crazy. Um, this whole scene where Shamrock and Shanks get split up, kind of crazy. But we obviously know Dragon keeps Shanks. I think, maybe. Um, but Dragon getting blasted in the shoulder, very interesting. I wonder if he's got a scar there from this. Um, this person being named Saint Maffy. We didn't get the other God's Knight that wasn't named yet. The big Yeti looking monster. So that's interesting. But yeah, this person definitely looks like an Oni, but like they also just like basically used a blast breath. So that's kind of crazy in itself. Um, and they're smoking a cigar, which is interesting as well. And they have a sword. They also kind of have like a fur coat. They kind of look like female Kaido. I'm not gonna lie. Um, then you have this amazing panel of the Rocks just doing the most. You got Shiki Big Mom, Whitebeard, and and Kaido just doing the most, and even the God's Knight sweating like, what is happening to this island? And then you see that one of the twins wasn't yanked up, and then just them running from Garp and Big Mom turning on Garp and using it, and then you just see like he's on demon time, like crazy work. And then like hold on. Oh yeah, and then Dragon's like, Dad? That's crazy. And the fact that Garp hasn't sensed him or been like, yo, is he okay? Like he's hurt. Um, but then him trying to save what I assume is baby Shanks and Maffy being like, yeah, the baby's safe. And it sounds like they know that there's two, but she doesn't. Um, and the way that this person from the Man Mare family is just like using this gun, it makes me very excited to see how guns are portrayed later, especially like with Yasop and then this person and stuff like that. I want to see and Ben Beckman, like I want to see people who are gun wielders really show out. Um, all of the Rocks pirates running towards, like we even get Gil Bastard or Gil Bastar, like right here we see him a little bit. And then the fact that Captain John has a metal arm, he probably was the original fruit user for the magnetic fruit, Eustace fruit. But this whole situation with Sommers and just like kind of getting put in his place by Shaggy, and then him be like, I'm just gonna murder you because I can't have you, I don't want Garling to have you, I don't want any of that. And then like this moment where Whitebeard is being attacked by Roger and like them kind of holding them off, and it's like Roger was like, yo, you gotta do it, and all of a sudden he was already schmoovin'. He was already ready for that. And he was literally about to beat her to death, and like Rayleigh was just right there. This I still, after this moment, One, I really wanted to see Conqueror's hockey coming off of Rayleigh. That would have been sick. Um, to like see the anger in him, to see how pissed off he was. Like this whole thing of like him being behind him, like this would have been a great moment for him to like be leaking Conqueror's hockey. Like how pissed he was. And just the like, I don't know. It's just awesome. And the fact that he just like sheathed his sword real quick, like, and was like, sorry it took so long. I've come to get you. Just beautiful. Beautiful moment. And then her like vulnerability with him is just amazing. And the fact that Roger and Roger and oh my god, I'm blanking. Scopper are both like like I'm so upset. It's just it's great. It's beautiful. The only other thing that I need is I need when they're leaving Garling to see that he's taking Shacky and like holding her and like taking her away and him go to like attack and like Rayleigh just do him dirty too. Or at least have like a really good like fight. Dang, son. Dang, son. No, this was a really good chapter. I like this a lot. With everything that happened, like it was real action packed. Like I felt like it took no time at all for me to read through this because I was just so hooked on all these moments. Um, but yeah, no, this is great. I'm so interested. I'm so invested, dude. Oh my god. I just want to know more. Give me more God Valley. I need more. Like, yeah. Garp is never beating the allegations though that he's kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that he's here, he knows what's happening, and yet he's not doing a thing besides for chasing down pirates. Kind of a trash marine. I don't know. Um, just craziness. Very crazy. But yeah, uh, um, I'm not gonna lie. The climax of this chapter kind of makes me go, "This is a fucking good ass chapter." But I'm gonna say this chapter is an eight. I'm gonna say it is a comfortable eight. A lot of cool stuff happened. It might go 8.5. A lot of cool stuff happened. Um, but yeah, I mean, a lot of cool stuff happened. It was really well executed. I can't wait to see what happens next. They have just now gotten to the main area where the celestial dragons are and the treasure chests are. So this could be the point where things really pop off. Because I know this is where Big Mom beats the shit out of Ivankov and Kuma takes the pawpaw fruit. I also want to see how Dragon makes it off. Does he manage to get on a Navy ship and, you know, does he put Shanks in a treasure chest and then start like taking it away? And then all of a sudden Roger just like clips him and takes it. Not like clips him, but like, you know, punches him in the face and just takes it and then finds Shanks in it, you know? I don't know. There's a lot of crazy stuff. Lot of crazy stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just had a stupid idea. My God. I know that it's not legitimate. Think of it. Thinking about it, I know it's not legitimate. There was a part of me that was like, Well, Buggy and Shanks are pretty much around the same age. They both might have been found in treasure chests. Imagine Buggy and Shanks are actually supposed to be Shanks and Shamrock. But you remember when what's his name? Kiyoshiro or whatever, the dude from Wano, when he like lost his mind in anger and just like went crazy, his hair turned blue from black. And just imagine like Buggy when he like hit his head, lost his mind, and his hair turned from red to blue. And then he became Buggy. And so like it's actually Buggy and Shanks that are like twins. And Shamrock is actually just a clone of Shanks because Garling wanted a child to basically like keep his lineage going. So he made Vegapunk like make a clone of Shanks. That would be so bananas, but interesting. Yeah, but I wouldn't even like it. That's the worst part. Is like I wouldn't even like it. But yeah, no, this chapter is an 8.5. Very interesting stuff. I gotta see what other people are saying about it. The Captain John thing's kind of nuts. There's a kind of a lot of like small little revelations in this, and I want to see more. But yeah, no, this was a great chapter. Um, yeah. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Please, guys, let me know your thoughts. After all, I think this was a solid 8, maybe 8.5. Um, Lots of cool reveals, cool things, and a really good payoff for Rayleigh and Shaggy at the end. Can't wait to see what happens next. There's a lot that still has to happen. So I'm just so excited. Like I made a prediction because right now we're about to the literally halfway through this week, it's gonna be October. And yeah, as you guys know, I'm having a kid probably halfway through, maybe a little three quarters. Um, but I mean, there's no break week, and this is going to be crazy because, I mean, if you really think about it, um, we could be in this flashback because we still have the rest of God Valley because we're getting all of it. We have the rest of God Valley, and then we still have more of Harold's backstory and how he got killed by his people, and supposedly Loki did it. So what else do we have here that is still like I'm gonna be honest, we're probably gonna get 1161, 1162, and then a break. Or no, 1162 and 1163, then a break. So that's gonna take us halfway through October. And then we're gonna have a break, and then we're gonna have 1164, 1165, and probably 1166, and then a break. And then we're into, November time frame. We're probably going to be in this flashback till New Year's or pretty close to it because they take a lot of breaks towards the holiday season. So, in all actuality, we could be looking at fucking a lot. So, I don't know. It's just very interesting that this is happening. So, I don't know. I'm excited for it. You guys let me know your thoughts because I'm thinking this story is cooking, and I think that we got at bare minimum. I'd go on record to say that we have till 1170 at least till we get out of this backstory. So you know, once we get out of this backstory, then I think that stuff is going to start teeing off. And I think that that has to do with New Year's. So as soon as January hits, we're going to probably be back in Elbaf, back at the fight, and we're going to start seeing a lot of development on Elbaf. So who knows, man? This backstory is a lot more than I think we had originally intended it to be, but so worth it. So worth it. But yeah, that's just my thoughts, and I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure that you're liking the video, make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you're doing all that good stuff. Make sure you're going to the link tree, follow me on TikTok and stuff like that. Um, I go live pretty much every week with NYC Anime Nerd, and we talk One Piece theories. So make sure you're over there liking, going on TikTok and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, this is great. So tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me if you think we're even gonna be, in this flashback much longer. I truly think that we at least got 9 chapters, if not a little bit more than that. And I think it's taken us to New Year's. So you let me know your thoughts in the comments because, like I always say, One Piece is better as a conversation. I love having that conversation with you guys. So, anyway, that is my time, and I will be back here next, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, somewhere in there for my next live reaction to 1162, and I can't wait. So, hope to see you guys there. Until then, Jana.